Let's talk about something nobody wants to admit. Schools are spending more on professional development than ever, and teachers are still walking out of trainings thinking, that was nice, but what do I actually do on Monday? According to a brand new report from Education Week, districts now spend over $8,300 per teacher on PD. Sounds impressive, right? But here's the catch: PD still only makes up about 3.5% of district budgets. That's the same proportion as 20 years ago. So the question isn't, are we spending enough? It's, are we spending it wisely? I'm Tamia Peterson, founder of the Savvy Educator, and today we're unpacking what this research means for your school, your teachers, and your impact. The study, led by researcher Ariel Boguslav, I hope I'm saying that right, and her team, looked at PD spending patterns across districts nationwide. And here's what they found. Most districts have increased the dollar amount they spend per teacher from about $6,200 in 2001 to over $8,300 in 2022. But as a slice of the overall budget, still stuck at that same 3.5%. So even though cost and expectations have gone up, the investment priority has not shifted. It's like saying we upgraded the car but kept the same amount of gas in the tank. And it gets more complicated. The report found huge disparities between schools. So, high poverty schools serving mostly students of color spent nearly $12,000 per teacher on PD, while smaller high poverty schools serving mostly white students spent about half of that. That tells us there's not just a funding issue, there's an equity gap in how professional learning is resourced. Now, let's talk about what's underneath the numbers. So, we've all sat in those marathon PD days, right? New slides, new acronyms, new programs, new curriculum, and a folder we never open again, right? It's not that teachers don't want to learn, it's that the structure of PD often isn't designed for lasting change, right? We're constantly reinventing the wheel and not giving enough time to run the plays. So the report points out that most districts are trying to shift toward more instructional coaching and ongoing professional learning communities, right? But these models, they cost more. They require time, planning, and consistent feedback. So even though the total spending increased, many schools are still spreading dollars too thin across disconnected sessions instead of investing deeply in what actually moves the needle. And this is where I see the biggest disconnect, especially in literacy. We'll spend thousands on programs, materials, or new reading tools, but we don't always fund the training teachers need to implement them well. Structured literacy, science of reading, small group data systems, all of that requires more than a one-time workshop. It takes coaching, feedback, and accountability. And that's why I built my 90-minute one-on-one small group fix intensive. It is a micro coaching session that fits real budgets and real schedules, but still gives teachers the clarity, structure, and tools they need to actually see progress within weeks. Because you don't always need a $20,000 contract. Sometimes you just need one focused conversation with the right data and a clear plan. So, what can district leaders take away from this study? Glad you asked. Number one, you want to audit your PD impact, not just your PD spending. Are teachers applying what they learned? Are student outcomes improving? What's the feedback? Do you have a method for collecting the feedback? And number two, align your PD with classroom reality. If your training doesn't reflect what teachers are actually facing with their tier 2, tier 3 readers, you're wasting money, a lot of it. Number three, you want to think about PD as a system, not a day. The best professional learning loops back into coaching, collaboration, and reflection. And that's the heart of my MAPS framework. We measure progress, we analyze data, we promote collaboration, and we structure instruction. When PD supports that cycle, you get results without needing to double your budget until you figure out where you're going, right? I've been that teacher sitting in the back of a PD session wondering how any of this would help my struggling readers because they don't look like nothing y'all talking about. And I've also been the coach who's got to sit side by side with the teacher and watch a student's face light up when reading finally clicked. That difference didn't come from more spending, it came from more strategy. Because at the end of the day, professional learning is not about the hours logged, it's about the outcomes produced. And if your PD dollars aren't translating into reading gains, teacher confidence, good teacher evaluations, or stronger tier 2 instruction, it's time to rethink the model. So here's my challenge to every principal, instructional coach, and district leader watching. Before you approve your next PD contract, ask, does this help teachers apply what they've learned within 24 hours? Will this make our next small group more effective? Are we measuring the return on this investment, not just in the dollars, but in student outcomes? If the answer is no, then let's talk. My 90-minute small group fix is an intensive designed for schools that want impact without the excess, right? We focus on your real data, your real students, and your real goals, and create a roadmap your teachers can implement immediately. You can book your session today using the link below because when PD is purposeful, progress follows. I'm Tamia Peterson, and this has been your Literacy Rescue Lounge. Until next time, keep teaching with intention.